The moment you tap your card, money appears. Not metaphorically, literally. No vault opens, no truck moves, no pile of cash waits for permission, yet the payment goes through instantly, which raises an uncomfortable question most people never ask. Who actually created that money? Because it wasn't you, and it wasn't the cashier, and most of the time it wasn't even the government. That matters more now than at any point in your lifetime. Right now, inflation is still reshaping prices. Interest rates are high, debt is everywhere, and people keep hearing the same vague explanation. Too much money was printed, but when you swipe your card, no printer is involved. So let's slow this down and watch what really happens, step by step, without jargon, without myths. Imagine you're buying a coffee, $4. You tap your card. In your mind, money leaves your account and moves to the cafe. Simple. But that's not what actually happens. Your bank does not reach into a box labeled "Your Money." Instead, it changes two numbers on two screens. Your balance goes down by 4, the cafe's balance goes up by 4. That's it. No physical transfer, no waiting, just updated ledgers. Now here's the first crack in the story. Those numbers were not sitting idle, waiting for your permission. They exist because of a loan. Most of the money you see in your bank account was not deposited by someone else. It was created the moment a bank approved a loan. This isn't a conspiracy. It's the core design of modern banking. When a bank gives someone a mortgage, it does not hand over existing money. It creates new money by typing it into existence. Loan approved. New deposit appears. 2 entries, 1 asset for the bank, 1 liability, money created. Globally, over 90% of money works this way. Not printed, not minted, typed. Which means when you swipe your card, you're not moving government money, you're moving bank-created credit. That's why this matters right now, because the real power in the money system isn't in cash, it's in who gets to decide which loans get approved. Let's rewind slightly. Governments do create money. Central banks issue base money, cash, reserves. But then it's the smallest layer of the system. Think of it like the foundation of a building, necessary, stable, limited. The floors above it? That's private bank money, expanding, contracting, fragile. Every time banks lend aggressively, the money supply grows. Every time they pull back, money disappears. Yes, disappears. When a loan is repaid, that money is destroyed, not recycled, not saved, deleted. This is the uncomfortable math no one advertises. The system requires constant new borrowing just to stay the same size. And here's where the irony creeps in. We're told banks are intermediaries, that they lend out other people's savings, but in reality, they're money manufacturers with risk departments. They don't wait for deposits to lend. Deposits appear because of lending. This flips the entire story most people were taught. Now zoom back to your coffee. That $4, it's part of a chain of debt stretching backward through time. Someone borrowed to create it. Someone else is paying interest on it, and the system assumes more borrowing tomorrow. This is where hype meets reality. The hype says money is neutral, just a tool. The reality is money is directional. Banks don't create money evenly. They create it where profits are highest and risk feels lowest. Real estate, financial assets, large corporations, not evenly across the economy. That's why asset prices explode while wages crawl. That's why housing feels impossible, but credit cards are easy. It's not an accident, it's design, and it creates a quiet tension. Because if banks stop lending, the economy doesn't just slow, it shrinks. Businesses can't roll over debt, consumers pull back, jobs vanish. So central banks step in. They raise rates to slow things down, lower rates to speed things up. But notice what they're really doing. They're trying to influence how much money private banks create. Indirect control. blunt tools. It's like steering a truck by adjusting the road instead of the wheel. And every cycle, the stakes rise. More debt, bigger balance sheets, thinner margins for error. Now let's address the question most people are thinking. If banks can create money, why doesn't everything collapse instantly? Because trust holds it together. Trust that deposits will be honored. Trust that loans will be repaid. Trust that tomorrow looks enough like today. That trust is fragile. We've seen what happens when it cracks. Bank runs, liquidity freezes, emergency rescues over weekends. Suddenly, everyone remembers where money really comes from. Not from work alone, not from savings alone, but from confidence in a system that only functions if people don't panic. This is the part rarely discussed. Money is not just economic, it's psychological. Which brings us back to you, standing at the counter, card in hand. When you swipe, you participate in a system built on debt, trust, and constant expansion. You're not doing anything wrong, you're just inside it. But understanding it changes everything else. Inflation isn't just prices rising, it's credit expanding faster than real value. Financial crises aren't accidents, they're moments when debt outpaces belief. And money creation isn't controlled by a single authority, it's negotiated daily between banks, borrowers, regulators, and fear. So here's the unresolved question. If most money is created by private institutions chasing profit, and the system requires perpetual borrowing to survive, what happens in a world that can't keep expanding forever? That's not a rhetorical question. It's the quiet one sitting behind every swipe.